Ready. So we're recording this session now. Well, I was expecting today, but no worries, no problem. So, guys, today we're going to be working on our week number 5. It's actually the first class of the week number 5. And in this week entirely, we're going to be working about the fit life. No, so like a life which is currently the trendy life, which is the fit life. On the old days, being fit was not so trendy. It was not so catchy. The people didn't want to be fit because, of course, it's a difficult life. You have to eat well. You have to stop eating junk food. You have to stop drinking liquor. You have to start doing exercise. So it is a little bit more difficult than having a regular life. But of course, it's better for your body, right? Do you consider yourself like fit people or not really?
Fit people or what? Sorry, teacher. I
Or not
don't.
really?
No, not really.
Uh,
I just I try to do exercise like 3 days at the week because I need to se me olvidó, yo he buscado la palabra,
Strength.
fortalecer mis abdominales
Okay.
por por la cirugía que me hicieron. Entonces, I tried.
What surgery did you have?
La de la columna.
No way.
Yes. I have scoliosis.
Ah, okay. Oh my God. Did it hurt?
Yes. So the last year, I have the bueno, de la cirugía,
Surgery.
surgery.
Mm.
So I have to do exercise for my abs because my hip hurts
Ah,
because of yes, for the surgery.
surgery. Okay. And well, now you wanna be like this guy, or you are going to be like this guy, like over with several abs, right?
I'm trying.
Okay, but Amy, the surgery did it hurt? The surgery?
Uh, for the beginning, at the two of first months, of course, but now it's like it's not happen. I don't know. It feels it's I know that I can do things
Okay.
that I that I can do before of the surgery.
Surgery.
I don't know.
Okay.
Como que no sé.
Yeah, you get used to, that is an important word this week. Get used to,
Yes.
which is acostumbras. Okay, Amy, thank you so much. What about you, Paul? What do you think?
Not really. I'm not a fit person. Instead, I think I am a lazy person, to be honest. I try to do exercise, of course, but I don't have discipline to do every day
Mm,
exercise.
of course, of course. Yeah, it has to do with discipline and also with will. Will, do you know what is the meaning of willpower?
Como se me viene a la mente la palabra en español como poder de voluntad.
Fuerza de
Algo
voluntad.
así.
Exact.
Eso.
Very good. Fuerza de voluntad. So it's something that we require in order to look like this, right? So of course, it's important to eat healthy. It's important to have the discipline to exercise. Has a lot of different sacrifices, right? Very good. Imagine that, well, I suppose that for different moments of your life, you have had healthy habits. Maybe 3 weeks in a row, maybe 1 month in a row. Of course, it's difficult to maintain, but at some point of our lives, we have had those habits, right? Now, the question is, how does it feel to have healthy habits? How do you feel? Do you feel more powerful? Do you feel lighter? Do you feel faster? Do you feel happier? How do you feel when you have healthy habits?
Maybe uh, at the beginning it's hard to try to be healthy,
Mhm.
but it feels good because you know you are doing something that can help your body and your se me fue la palabra. Bueno, yes.
No, wait, your body
Eh,
and your what?
Es
What,
que
what?
se me olvidó la palabra,
Even in Spanish?
se me olvidan las dos. O sea, bueno, el cuerpo, and their mind.
Mm, very good. Your body and your mind. Yeah, true. Very good. Okay. Okay, excellent, Amy. And how do you feel about when you have healthy habits for a bit? Faster, lighter, more powerful, stronger?
Yes, of course, it feels amazing. But I have this problem as the times goes by. It feels like monotonous
Mm,
and routine. So I don't like that feeling. But I know having healthy habits, it's the better for your body.
okay, it's the best for your body. Good. Okay, very good. Well, the word it's routinary, yes. So that's how as you feel. Great. Okay, that is also. I mean, not everything about fit life is good. No, as I said before, it's kind of difficult to maintain that. It requires discipline, sacrifice, and a lot of things, and that discipline turns out a little bit routinary. No, so that's why it can be a little bit difficult. And of course, because it requires effort. Yeah. So. But of course, having healthy habits feels great. In my case, for example, when I have healthy habits, I feel as if I were, no, wait. I have colon problems, right? Like I have like syndrome colon something, yeah. And thus everything that I eat, it's really heavy for me, yeah. But when I exercise and when I have a healthy habit and when I eat good, when I have a good diet, I feel as if I didn't have that problem. I didn't have that colon syndrome, whatever, irritable syndrome colon or something like that. So, but every time that I maintain my diet and everything, I feel like that. I feel like as if I didn't have that problem, right? So good. Okay, guys. And then, well, how important do you think that it's the connection between the nature and the fit life? Do you think that having a connection with nature is important for having a, a what a fit life or not? Is it important to have a natural connection or not? Like, for example, going to a park, staying in touch
I
with
think
nature.
perhaps maybe like the person who makes yoga feel more connected with the nature. So I don't know. I think that they feel like a kind of peace that only the nature and the exercise could make for them. So maybe yes.
And do you have that? Do you feel like that or not really?
Um, no, but I love the nature. Yes,
Mhm.
but I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel that connection.
So it happens to me. I also love the nature, but when I go camping, I feel horrible. I mean, I like to be there, like watching the sunshine or something like that, but I don't like sleeping on the floor, on the ground, right? So it's kind of difficult for me. But that's why I am asking, like, do you have that kind of connection or not? What about you, Paul? Do you have that kind of connection or not?
Yes, I would say, for example, I live in a town, currently living in a town, so it's really easy for me to go outside and just have a walk in through the mountains or
Mhm.
just go in and cycle with my bicycle.
Yeah.
So yes, I would say that, and I would say it's pretty important for every one of us because we are always surrounded by screens and like stress. So it's important to take these times to relax a little.
Two questions, Paul. Where do you live? What is the name of the town?
It's called Oaxaca, Cundinamarca.
Okay, got it. Very good. Is it safe to go out and
Oh
stay?
yes, yes, uh-huh.
Okay,
Really
great.
safe.
Very good. And what what do you think about those people who go out to try to stay in touch, but they stay connected to their cell phone outside? It's like just taking the cell phone outside, taking pictures outside, maybe posting stories outside. So it's like a fake connection to the nature, don't you think?
Yes, I would say that. It's like it's useless, right? Like if you go outside and you try to have this connection with nature, but you are always in your cell phone, it's useless.
Okay, totally agree with you. Very good. And the second question, guys, is what is your favorite way to connect with nature, even if you don't do it very often? For example, Paul told us a lot, like cycling, walking around, walking outside. But which one is your favorite? I would say mine probably would be go to the beach or going to the beach. I don't do it very often, but I love it when I'm there. I like walking barefooted. What is the meaning of barefooted? Do you remember? What is barefooted?
Creo que era algo sobre estar descalzos, algo así.
That's very good, exactly, with no shoes on, right? So I love that feeling. Probably that's my favorite way to connect with nature. And maybe also looking to the sky at night. I also like that. But what about you?
For me, it's like get outside and take a walk, breathe deeply, and not carbon dioxide.
In the city, kind of difficult, right?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, pronunciation, dioxide, carbon dioxide.
Dioxide.
Exactly like that. Yeah,
Okay.
the one. And you, Paul, which one of your many different possibilities is your favorite?
I would say I love riding my bike. For example, in the mornings, I try to ride my bike for more or less 1 hour. So I like to start my morning, to start my day
Yeah.
appropriately.
Do you have breakfast before that or not?
Yes, before.
Okay, good, right? Okay, and I mean, if you ride your bike for an hour, how long does it go? Do you go
Mm,
from one town to another, or how long is that?
oh no, it's like around the town. I don't
Okay,
go very, very far away, just
so
around the town.
okay, so you just pass by many times for the same places, right?
Uh-huh, yes,
Okay,
you're right.
yeah, I try to do the same sometimes too, right? Okay, very good, thank you. So in that case, of course, the nature it's an important way to connect with us, like, and for the fit life, it's kind of important, yes. But today, I the question focuses on how does it feel? Yeah. For example, I am going to repeat the question that I made at the beginning, and it's like, how do you feel? How do you feel when you do it, when you do that activity that you like so much? How do you feel when you go walking and breathing fresh air? How do you feel when you go cycling around the town? How do you feel? Do you feel sad? Do you feel depressed? Or on the other hand, do you feel relaxed? Do you feel peaceful? How do you feel?
I feel like liberate. Yes. Relax. Sometimes happy because like you're to try to I don't know, como forgive the things that you have been through it.
Yeah.
So yes.
Mhm. Very good idea. Okay. Excellent. So you feel like liberated or relaxed. Great. Mhm. And Paul, what about you?
Yes, it's like the same. I feel like more powerful when I come back to my house to face the rest of my day.
Of course.
So yes, I feel like more energetic for the rest
Ener
of my day.
okay, very good. Energetic, it's a right word. But one question, of course, riding bicycle for 1 hour, it's kind of exhausting. So don't you feel a little bit tired afterwards? Like you cannot walk or something? Oh, it's normal for you.
Yes, in the evening I feel a little sleepy. I don't know if the word, but yes, I feel like I have to go to sleep because
Okay.
when I go outside with my bike, I try to do it very early in the morning. For example, 7 p.m. is early for me. or
My
8 p.m.
God.
is very early for me.
Yeah.
But of course, I don't ride my bike every day, just 1 or 2 days a week.
A
A week.
week. Okay, great. No, of course. I mean, 8 a.m. It's actually kind of early for me too. Okay, but very good. So you feel like you have to sleep, like a little bit sleepy. Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm. Okay, very good. So today, what we're going to do is focus those like kind of impressions, yes, and perceptions and like feelings about different stuff, and expressing or learning how to create metaphors and symbols, right? So the metaphor or the symbol, it's just simply that we use for making comparisons or like creating how can I say descriptions of different things in a way that the other person can understand better, right? In order to do that, we have different expressions. The first one, well, the first couple of expressions are as if and as though, right? These two expressions are used for creating metaphors and comparing two different actions or giving one explanation easier to one of the actions or something that probably is more real related to the other person that it's talking to me, right? For example, she says like, "Ah, teacher, I feel, oh, I told you before, when I am healthy or when I have healthy habits, I feel as if I didn't have that problem. In reality, I have that problem, but I feel as if I didn't have them." Or we have as though. Basically, both are the same. Yes, probably this one it's going to be a little bit more conversational. This one it's a little bit more formal, like for written text, but it's both for the same. Now, Mrs. Paul, please help me to read what is the use of these two.
If you want to express impressions about feelings or behaviors.
Exactly. What verbs can I use, or what verbs are normally used with these expressions? Act, behave, feel, look, seem, talk, right? So I'm going to use these comparisons or these metaphors in order to express what I think about something, what I think about a behavior, or what I feel about what I think about a feeling, or what I think about an appearance or something like that. For example, here the first example says, she's acting as if she's hiding something. Like the person is looking like this, right? So my impression is that she's acting as if she's hiding something. Notice that in this case, I use the present, well, in this case, the present continuous in the second sentence. It's because it's a real impression, something that probably she's doing, right? Probably she is, or probably she's not, but it's a real impression. It's what I think that she really is doing, right? On the other hand, I can also use these expressions, but with the past, in order to describe hypothetical guess. I don't know about what I'm guessing. I'm just making up like a quick metaphor, but probably she's not doing that. It's just like a comparison, but it's not like she's doing that. So in that case, I said they look as though they did something bad. Probably they didn't do anything, but that's just like the hypothetical guess that I am doing. As if or as though can be used in both contexts. So here I can say, for example, she is acting as though she is hiding something, and it's fine. Or here I can say they look as if they did something bad. There is no change on those. Remember that the difference is that probably as if is a little bit more conversational, and as though it's a little bit more formal. But on the use, both could be flat. Ready? Now, what is the idea? The idea is that these expressions help me to exemplify better what I am feeling or what I am perceiving. Yes. So, for example, I can say, "Ah, the person is acting strange." Okay, but strange how? I don't know. She's like doing like this, or she's acting like a criminal or something like that. But it's not very specific. It's kind of confusing, that description. So this expression is going to allow me to introduce a clearer explanation, sorry, right? A metaphor in that case is just, or a simile. It's making a comparison, like this action and like how is she acting, or what is the explanation, the easy explanation for this sentence. How is she acting? Ah, she's acting as if she's hiding something, or if it's something hypothetical, they did something bad, or she were hiding something, or with simple past. With present for real impressions, and with past for hypothetical guess. Got it? Normally with these verbs, but they are not the only ones, right? For example, I have an impression of how the people speak, right? For example, I don't know, when the people said, my name is, whatever. When they have different accents, I can say, you know what? He speaks, he speaks as if he is from Barranquilla, right? So because they have an specific accent, no? So you said, you know what? He speaks as if he is from Barranquilla, making a comparison. Como habla? As if he is from Barranquilla. Or as though, no problem, right? If it's a real impression. If it's something hypothetical, I am not really sure, then I would say he speaks as if he were costeño, no? But in that case, the difference is that this is less possible. The first one with real impression, but it's something I am more certain about it. That's the only difference. Okay? How do you feel? Questions about it? More or less difficulties?
It's clear, teacher. But as though is like a more formal, a formal way.
Let's say that both are formal, but as if it's more conversational and as though it's a little bit more written, right? But both are formal. Yes, that's the difference.
Okay, okay, teacher. Thank you.
Okay, no
I'm
worries.
sorry, mister. I have a
Yes,
question.
yes, of course.
As if and as though is the same?
Yeah, it's exactly the same. There is no difference
Okay.
using those. It's just in both cases, it's like como si and then the information that you want to introduce.
Okay. And why did you put he speaks as if he were? Why isn't past?
Okay, good. The difference, then if I use it in present or in past, it's this one. When I have a real impression, when I say, habla como si, como que es de, ¿cierto? Como I am more sure about it, I'm more certain, I use it in present or present continuous. If I am making a hypothetical guess, something that I am not really sure, I am just guessing, I use the simple past. Yeah. Depends on my impression, if I am certain or not certain about the thing. Ready? Listo. Very good. Now, the question here is super simple. It's what do you think it's up with him, with this guy? Looking at him, what do you think is up with him?
Maybe he just wake up. I don't know.
It's a possibility here. Because pajamas, sleepers, coffee, right? So, how would you say se ve como si se hubiera despertado, como si se hubiera acabado de despertar? But all the sentence, all complete. How would you create all the sentence like, parece que se hubiera acabado de despertar, right? Oh,
He look as though he just wake up in past.
excellent. He looks, careful, third person. He
Looks
looks as though
he just wake up.
he just, there you have both options. You could say he looks as though he just wake up if you are more certain, or he looks as though he just woke up if you are making a hypothetical situation, a hypothetical guess. But in this case, I think we are almost certain. Creo que estamos casi seguros because the pajamas, the coffee, everything, ¿no? Entonces, in that case, I would say, yo diría que con present, right? Pero every person, it's different. So you can decide making it with past because it's your intention. Depende de tu intención, right? These both are fine. He looks as though he just wake up. Ready? Muy bien. Any other impression? ¿Alguna otra impresión? Do you think that he sleep well or not so much? Do you think that he is well rested or not really?
He looks like, I don't know, like maybe scared or disconcerted. Maybe he
Okay,
have a bad dream.
listen. Entonces, wait a second because there we have two sentences. He looks like disconcerted. And the impression of Emmy is that probably he had a bad dream. He had a nightmare, right? That is the metaphor that we're going to introduce with this one. parece que hubiera tenido una mala noche, parece que hubiera tenido una pesadilla. Ah, okay, that is what we're going to use doing this. So we said, he looks, or we can use he seems, parece he looks as if or as though he had a bad. No estoy seguro, pero parece que hubiera tenido, right? Se ve como si if he had a bad dream. That is the impression of Emily. Ready? Entonces, in that case, I can use it as though for like, parece que se hubiera acabado de levantar, pero también in the face, he looks like he's disconcerted, right? Like es una opción para reemplazar as though y as if, pero esa sí es mucho más informal. ¿Listo? Entonces, in that case, when we use like instead of as though or as if, it's possible. Yes, it's possible, but it's much more informal. Okay? I'm trying to accommodate my microphone. That's it. Didn't you listen to me fine? Can you listen fine there? Yes.
Yes, Mr.
Yes, teacher.
Great. Excellent.
Teacher, but dream and nightmare is the same thing, right?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Nightmare is a little bit more like paranormal, no? When you say like, oh my God, Freddy Krueger came to my mind. But dream, it's like other thing that could be more like normal, no? How I don't know how to say, not paranormal. But yeah, basically that's a synonym. Okay.
Thank you, teacher.
Good. Great, very good. So those are your impressions about him, right? Explain with as if or as though. Great, very good. Now, that is not the only way that we have for creating metaphors. As though and as if, right? They include complete sentences. As if she's hiding something, they did something bad. Present or past, but complete sentences. On the other hand, we have, oh wait, Emmy, it's your time to read, sorry.
If you want to express comparisons between two different actions.
Good. Comparisons, no comparisons, but comparisons.
Comparisons.
Exactly. So in this case, I am making, in the previous one, I was making comparisons too, right? I was comparing, for example, here, the way that that the person looks as the action that the person is representing. Or here, we are comparing his face with the face of a person that slept very bad the last night or the night before. But here, we're going to make the comparison between two actions, right? Example, we have the two expressions, which is as and the way. Both are going to be similar to cómo, ¿ya? Cómo no de pregunta, sino cómo de ejemplificación, like cómo tal cosa, right? They work a little bit different, but they both do the same. In the first example, they said teenagers now tend to eat. What is the meaning of tend to? Tend to, what is that?
Tienden a.
Good, very good. Tienden a. So the teenagers now tend to eat the way top athletes do. I use the way when I include a verb or an auxiliary at the end of the sentence. Here I use do because it's simple present, so I use the auxiliary of simple present. But I could say they tend to eat the way top athletes eat. I can use it with the same verb or with the auxiliary of the tense, which in this case is simple present. So that's why I use both, right? But when I use the way, it's important to include the verb at the end. I can do exactly the same idea, but if I use the other one, which is as, it's not necessary to include the verb. In that case, it's a noun phrase. O sea, only the noun, únicamente el sustantivo. I could say teenagers now tend to eat as top athletes, and that's it. But if I include the way, it's necessary to include the verb afterwards, right? On the other hand, when I use as, it's just necessary to include a noun phrase afterwards. Can be one word, two words, but it's a noun, es un sustantivo. Example, some kids nowadays speak and act as adults. They do these actions as adults, right? I can do the same thing with the way, but then in that case, I would have to include the auxiliary or the verb at the end. For example, some kids speak and act the way adults do. Do a way again because it's simple present. Speak and act, the auxiliary is simple present, right? So we do. Or I can use the same verbs. Some kids nowadays speak and act as adults, sorry, the way adults speak and talk and act. Yeah, repeating the same verbs, but with the same auxiliary, it's fine. Not necessary to repeat all again the same verbs. If I change it, I can make other examples with other tenses. Then I would have to change the auxiliary. For example, I don't know. Police have acted the way criminals, and then I have an auxiliary. Yes, one would be acted or have. What is the correct option? Acted or have? Police have acted the way criminals have, or police have acted the way criminals acted.
I will say acted. I'm not sure.
Who knows? Maybe have.
Maybe have. Well, in this case, when I have this one, it's better to use the auxiliary, right? Because acted, it might be if this is simple present, but this is actually present simple, present perfect, no? So we said police have acted the way criminals have, right? The auxiliary of the sentence first. In this case, I can use auxiliary or verb, but here, when I use present perfect or simple past, it's better to use the verb, the auxiliary and not the verb. Okay. Normally we use the auxiliary, but sometimes we include the verb, but normally we use the auxiliary at the end. Ready? So it's a comparison of two actions, two people who do, or two things, or two subjects who do the same action in the same way, right? I don't know. For example, my friend eats the way porks do. I am comparing the way that my friend eats, like all disorder, with the way that the porks or that the pigs do, right? So using the auxiliary at the end and comparing the action in both different cases, the pigs and my friend, right? So right here is my friend, not my friends, my friend, right? Or if I use as, it's much simpler. So I just have to say, my friend eats as the pigs. That's it. My friend eats as a pig or as the pigs. That's it, right? So it's the same, but in that case, one includes the auxiliary, the other one includes only the subject, but it's basically the same. How do you feel? More or less questions over here?
Clear, teacher.
Clear, very good. So the question here about the guy, now it's not like what is your impression, but he says, he reminds me of someone, but I can't remember who. Maybe he is a doctor. What do you think? Looking like him, how does he dress? How does he pose? How does he look like?
Like a, no sé, reggaetonero.
Exactly, of course, totally, right? He looks like a reggaeton singer. Then, if you are saying just reggaeton singer, it's the way or us.
The way.
You think so? He looks tan reggaeton, sorry, reggaeton. How do you spell that? Reggaeton. Yes, singer. After the expression, I only have a reggaeton singer. That is a noun phrase. It's only the name of the profession that we are comparing to. We don't have a verb, yeah? So in that case, what do you think? He looks the way a reggaeton singer or he looks as a reggaeton singer?
As.
Exactly, because I only have the noun phrase, right? If I want to use it the way, I can do it too, exactly the same sentence, but it would be a little bit different. He looks, or he poses, or he dresses the way a reggaeton singer. And what do we have to put at the end?
Look.
Could be looks, because it's third person, ¿cierto? A reggaeton singer, it would be he or she. Looks, it's one possibility. Or if I want to use the auxiliary, what would be the auxiliary in that case? What would be the auxiliary in that case? If I'm using he looks the way a reggaeton singer,
Maybe do.
yes, but
Or
it's third person.
does.
That's
Does.
very good, excellent. Right? This is simple present. I can use the verb, looks, or the auxiliary, but in that case, it's third person, so that's right. But very good. You are doing it fine. A little bit better, más o menos, more or less.
It's fine.
Yes, very good. Excellent. That's it. Now, my dear people, I can use these kind of expressions for comparing people, of course, people's characteristics, but I can also use it for comparing places or any other kind of characteristics, right? For example, let me just find out the picture. The picture. Wait. Okay, this is the picture, right? What can you think, or what can you like describe in this case about this picture? It looks. How does it look?
Scary, to be honest.
Of course, it looks scary, but scary, of course, is not a comparison, it's a characteristic of the place itself. Perfect, perfectly clear. But if you wanted to be more specific, like why is it scary? Imagine that the person doesn't know the picture. You are trying to describe the picture, but you said, okay, it looks scary. And the other person, but why is it so scary? What is scary about it?
And maybe they have like goats or a kind of demons. I don't know.
Okay, yes, exactly. So, how do you say when there is a place like this, actually, like, kind of Harry Potter, like it's a place like this and it's full of spirits or demons or ghosts? Any ideas?
Maybe it's a, I don't know the word, like cursed place, like
Good.
maldito.
Yeah, yeah, very good. Cursed or haunted? Cursed is like maldito. Haunted is more like encantado. And what place is this? Beach? Mountain? What do you think?
Like a forest.
Forest, very good, excellent. Forest or wood, right? Basically, it's the same. So in that case, we have that it looks as a cursed forest or as a haunted forest or as a haunted wood. Yeah. So it's making a comparison, right? Or of course, I can say it looks scary the way a haunted forest. What? It looks scary the way a haunted forest.
Looks.
Exactly. Or
Do.
third person.
Does.
Does, of course, because it's a forest, right? Muy bien. So it looks scary the way a haunted forest does, or the way a haunted forest looks, or it looks scary. It looks as a cursed or as a haunted forest. Yes, describing using the same descriptions, right? The same expressions that we saw before, but for describing places. Also, I can use the other two expressions that we saw before, as if and as though. For example, Amy said, like, "Ush, it looks as it had ghost." ¿Cierto? That is a real impression because I can see the ghost. Yeah, I can see the ghost. So I could say, you know what? It looks like, let me just write it down with the keyword. It looks as if it has a lot of demons, right? It looks oh my God, no, sorry, as if it has a lot of demons. I use it in present because it's a real impression that I have. It's not something hypothetical. I can see the demons in there. Yeah. But for example, my hypothetical impression is that there a lot of people died. I don't know. I can see the body of the people on the floor, but I have that impression. I can guess that, no? Because of course it's a haunted place with a lot of demons. So I could say that it seems, wait, sorry, seems, which is, what is it? It seems as though, remember that you can use both, as though there died a lot of. I use it in past because, of course, I am not really sure. So in that case, I'm just making a hypothetical case. But it's the same, no? So I can use this expression as though, as if, as, and the way for making comparisons, metaphors, or similes. Being more specific, yeah? Because of course I can say, no, that place is horrible. It looks super scary. Okay, but scary how? No, of course, it looks as if it has a lot of demons, as though a lot of people died there. It looks the way a haunted place does. It weighs as a haunted place, so many different expressions in order to be very specific about my descriptions. Okay? Questions so far?
No, sir.
No? Good. Great. And then finally comes the start of the night. The start of the night, of course, is like, because as you have used it today many times, it's actually something that we include in our vocabulary from the very beginning. It's the adverb like in order to exemplify, ready? As a way to exemplify the things that I'm saying, no? Every time that I said, oh, it's like blah, 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 yeah? So like, it's a very versatile word, which is going to help me to do everything that I did before, as if, as though, the way, and as, but in a more conversational way. Probably it's not so used when I'm writing a formal mail or something like that, but it's kind of used. Oh no, it's actually really used when I'm speaking about something and making comparison itself. Ready? My dear Emily, read the white example, please.
¿Cuál, teacher?
White, the white one.
Okay. Recently, influencers have been acting like there are no consequences for their acts.
Good. Recently, influencers have been acting like there are no consequences for their acts. So in that case, it's replacing as if or as though, in which I am making a metaphor. No, how are they acting? In this way, right? Like there are no consequences for their acts. And Emmy, could you please? Sorry, Emmy, no. Paul, could you please read the yellow example?
Yes, every kid dreams to live like a celebrity.
Good. In that case, it's like a celebrity, only the noun phrase, so it's replacing as. Every kid dreams to live as a celebrity, or in this case, like a celebrity. Perfect. And the last one, I always try to be responsible like my mother told me to. It told me to. So includes a verb. There, it's replacing the way. Okay? Of course, it's easier to use. It's really, really common to use, and it's much easier, but remember that it's kind of informal. If you want to be a little bit more formal, then it's better to use one of the other expressions that replace like, okay? Questions about it so far?
No, mister.
No, all fine. It's very excellent. And finally, we're going to find out that in order to make these expressions even shorter, I can only use as and the auxiliary of the sentence. Ready? Only saying as, ta, 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 and the subject. For example, my dog likes to eat chicken, as does my cat. So it's like saying, so does my cat, or as does my cat. It's like, also my cat does that, right? So you're only using as plus the auxiliary or the verb and the subject, yeah, after a comma, is going to say that this subject does the same action that the subject of the first sentence, right? In this case, my dog and my cat do the same. My dog likes to eat chicken, as does my cat. Simple present. But if it's with other, then I would have to change the auxiliary. I went to the party, as did my brother. This person and this person, they went both to the party. So, but it's simple past. So that's why it's as, auxiliary, in this case, did, and then the subject. With modal verbs, the same. They can sing hide, as can sopranos. Yeah, so they and sopranos do the same. What is that? Can sing very high. In that case, I use the modal verb, as can sopranos. Or with verb to be, present, past, whatever. For example, my mom was really stressed, as was my dad. Verb to be and verb to be. Pau, question.
Um, Teacher, is it wrong if I say they can sing high as sopranos can?
It's not wrong in speaking, right? Because it's an inversion that normally occurs in speaking. But in writing, it's important to maintain the real order. Yeah. But the idea is clear. It's just a matter of, how can I say that? Correctness, right? When the people say, I speak correctly. Come on. I mean, the idea was clear, but it's a matter of positioning the elements of the sentence right. But the idea will be completely understandable, okay? Great. The same with present perfect, of course, auxiliary is going to change. She has worked hard this year, as have I, right? But in that case, careful, because it's going to be the different auxiliary, because in here is third person and here is first. So that's why here is has and here is have, but that's it. And with the future, of course, will, or if it's going to with the verb to be, no, I am going to work say, at night, as is my brother, yeah, because it's with the verb to be. So it depends on the tense that I'm using. Yeah? I'm going to use the different auxiliary or the different verb in order to make the inversion and make a reduction. Simply as ta ta ta. That's it, right? Questions about it? More or less? Difficulties? No.
Clear, teacher.
Excellent. Very good. So, come on. Here, good. They are so similar. They do a lot of things in the same way. Chatting all day, take pictures of everything, posting all their lives, follow every trend, among other things. How can you express such similarities? For example, here I can say that let's say Paola here and Emily here, right? So in that case, for example, Paola, Paola uses her phone all day. How can I say así como él?
How did you know, teacher?
I knew it. So, how can I say así como and the other person? Remember that in that case is simple present. Paola uses her phone all day.
As does Emily?
Excellent. That's the way. As does Emily. Ready? So say like she does exactly the same as she does. Okay. Great. What about if I say then, for example, that wait. Emily is always taking pictures. Then I want to say así como Paola, right? Emily is always taking pictures. What do you think? Any
I
raise
have
your
no idea.
No idea. Wait, so for example, here you have to take into account the tense of the sentence. Here it says Emily is always taking pictures. As. Mm. Oh, if this is present continuous, what do you think is the auxiliary that we have to use here? The auxiliary, of course, it would be the verb to be. Yes. Emily is always taking pictures, as is Paula, because the auxiliary for the present continuous is simply the verb to be. So that's why it would be that. Yeah. Okay. So depending on the tense, I'll have to use one or the other. Yes. For example, posting all their likes. I'm saying that a Paul shouldn't. It's an example. I'm not really talking about, but Paul shouldn't post everything. Everything. Here it's negative, no? So how could I say así como tampoco empty, right? How would you do that?
As shouldn't Emily?
Wonderful. Exactly like that. You just have to use depending on the sentence, on the initial sentence. Then that is the auxiliary, or in this case, the modal verb that you're going to use in the second one for creating the one, así como, and then the rest. How do you feel with this one? Yeah, kind of, no?
Yes, kind of. It's
Okay.
a little bit confused, but it's only a matter to practice, right?
Yeah, it's a matter of practice. Very good, Bob. Excellent. And Amy, how do you feel with this? Good.
The same teacher. It's more
Listo, bien.
practice.
Okay, yes. For practicing, we have this part. Yeah, but we don't have time to do it now, but I am going to leave you the activity so you can do it later. And it says, we can frequently find similarities and comparison between humans and element of nature. No? So, for example, what is the characteristic of this little animal? I mean,
He's green, and maybe he has I don't know, like a band.
okay,
Think.
but this is a parrot, no? Of course, this is a parrot. Yes. What is the most common characteristic of the parrot? Not this parrot, but a parrot in general. What is the most common
Uh,
characteristic?
they're talk, they're talk a lot.
They talk a lot, right? So, for example, here with these animals, I can say that, oh my God, but it's an example. Let's say Emily speaks like a parrot. Yes. Or Emily speaks as a parrot. Okay. It's one comparison. Yeah? Or for example, I don't know. Let's say I love my my girlfriend. I love my girlfriend. The way bees love what?
Flowers.
Exactly. Very good. You know? So we're going to find different comparisons or simils between these things or the animals and stuff and the actions that people do. Okay. For example, they look as I know that the bees they don't work in an office, no? But the bees are hardworking animals. So I could say, for example, that these bees look as if they work a lot. It's a metaphor because we know that they don't work exactly, but it's like a metaphor for that. Or for example, let's say my daughter looks the way this little kitty does. like so tender, so cute. So I can make different comparisons. Try to think on some comparisons that you can find in these pictures or other comparisons that you could find in the nature, no? So I could say, oh, that person is tall as a tree, comparing the height of a person with the height of a tree. Ready? Más o menos, more or less? Yes. Listo, my dear girls. Perfect. Entonces, so the idea of today was talking about like the nature, the relationship that you have with nature, but exemplifying, no, and applying those comparisons, metaphors, and similes with the nature, because the nature is something that presents a lot of similarities with the human conduct, no? So that's why we're going to find a lot of different metaphors and possibilities to create comparison between both. Okay, my dear ladies, thank you for coming and thank you for the participation. See you on Friday. Yes. Tomorrow. No, mentiras. No, yes, on Friday. See you on Friday. That's it. Okay. Have a wonderful rest of the week and see you there in class.
Bye,
Thank you,
teacher. Thank
Mister.
you.
Bye.
Have a good night.